A long time ago in a faraway land, there lived a great leader named Prophet Sulaiman. Unlike any other leader, Prophet Solomon was blessed with a special ability by Allah Almighty. He could understand the language of animals and they could understand him. Yes, you heard that right. He could talk to animals and they could talk back. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? One day, Prophet Solomon was passing through a forest with his massive army. They were all marching in formation, looking strong and powerful. Suddenly, as they were taking a break, one of the soldiers shouted, "Hey, look at this little ant colony over here. They sure are busy carrying all those grains." Prophet Solomon looked at the tiny ants, each one working hard to carry a crumb many times bigger than themselves. He thought, I wonder if they know we're here. Just then, he heard a tiny voice saying, "Quick, everyone, go home, quickly now." Another voice replied, "But we've got to finish carrying these grains inside. We've been working on this for hours. No time now. If you don't leave right now, those giant human beings will crush you all." The first voice said urgently, "Oh, okay, let's go home then. But what about the grains? Leave them. Our lives are more important. We can gather more grains, but we can't get new lives." The anxious ant replied, and all the ants started running towards their home. When Solomon heard what the ant had said, a big smile appeared on his face. He turned to his army and said, "Did you hear that? A tiny little ant is telling its friends to go home before we crush them." The soldiers laughed and said, "What can we do, Commander? They are just ants. We need to rest, and we want to gather some food. If we don't, our journey will be harder." Prophet Sulaiman looked up into the sky and thanked Allah for giving him the gift to understand the language of animals. He said, "Oh Allah, thank you for this amazing gift. You have made me a leader who is loved and respected not only by humans, but also by animals." Then he looked at the ants carrying their food and felt bad for them. He didn't want his army to crush the ants or take their food, so he called his soldiers over and told them, "Brothers, look at these hard-working ants. They are trying their best to carry these heavy loads, and they have been working for hours." The soldiers replied, "Yes, Commander, but we need to rest and eat something. Otherwise, we won't be able to march properly." Prophet Sulaiman said, "I know you're tired, but look how hard these ants are working. Even though they are small, they never give up. They work together to achieve their goals." The soldiers said, "Yes, Commander, but we can't keep marching without eating. We need to gather some food so we can continue our journey." At that moment, one of the bravest soldiers stepped forward and said, "Commander, I understand what you're trying to say. You want us to be like these ants, hardworking and determined, but we also need to take care of ourselves. If we don't eat, we won't be able to fight or protect you." Prophet Sulaiman smiled and said, "You are right. We can't just keep marching without taking breaks, but we can show some kindness to these ants. Look at how hard they are working. They deserve some respect." Then he had an idea. He called all the ants around them and said, "My little ant friends, I know you've been working hard to carry these grains back to your home, but my army is tired and they need to rest. Would you mind if we stay here for a while so you can finish carrying your food?" The ants were surprised to hear Prophet Solomon's voice. They couldn't believe that he understood their language. One of the bravest ants stepped forward and said, "Great Prophet Solomon, we would love for you to stay here longer so we can finish carrying our food. But we need to hurry because the sun is setting soon. If we don't bring the grain home in time, our family will go hungry." Prophet Sulaiman said, "Don't worry, little ants. I understand. I'll ask my army to stay quiet for a few hours so you can finish carrying your food." The ants were very happy to hear this. They knew that Prophet Sulaiman was a kind and merciful leader. He cared not only for his people, but also for the animals around him. The prophet then asked his army to stay quiet for a few hours and not disturb the ants. The soldiers were a bit upset because they were hungry and thirsty, but they knew their leader was right. They should show some respect to the hard-working ants. So they sat quietly and waited for the ants to finish carrying their food. After a few hours, the sun began to set and the ants were getting worried. They had almost finished carrying the grains, but they still needed a little more time. Suddenly, Prophet Sulaiman approached them and said, "Little ants, I know you're almost done, but I want to help you finish carrying the rest of the grains." The ants were very grateful for his help. They knew that he didn't have to do this, but he was doing it out of kindness. Together, Prophet Sulaiman and his soldiers helped the ants carry the grains back to their homes. The ants were so happy that they all marched together in a long line, singing and dancing all the way. When they arrived at the anthill, the ants thanked Prophet Sulaiman and his soldiers for their help. They invited him and his army to come back and visit them anytime, and Prophet Sulaiman accepted their invitation with a smile. After saying goodbye to the ants, Prophet Sulaiman continued his journey with his army. They all felt good about helping the ants, and they knew that they had made a new friend along the way. As they kept moving forward, Prophet Sulaiman kept thinking about the ants. He realized that even though they were small and weak, they were strong and united. They worked hard to achieve their goals and never gave up in the face of challenges. He also realized that they were very smart and organized. They had built an entire city underground with tunnels and chambers for their colony. On the other hand, Solomon's army was huge and powerful. They had weapons and armor, and they were trained to fight and protect their leader. Yet they had become lazy and unmotivated. They needed a reminder about the importance of hard work and determination. That's why As they continued their journey, Prophet Sulaiman often stopped to rest and observe the ants. He shared his thoughts with his soldiers and reminded them about the values that had made him successful. He told them that they shouldn't just rely on their strength and power, but also on their intelligence and teamwork. As they journeyed on, the ants became a symbol of hard work and determination for Prophet Solomon's army. They learned that no matter how small or weak someone is, they can achieve great things if they try their best and never give up. From that day on, Prophet Sulaiman always remembered the ants and the lessons they had taught him. He continued to lead his people with wisdom and fairness, always remembering to be kind and respectful to all living things. Now, my little friends, the story of Prophet Solomon and the ants teaches us many important lessons. It teaches us to be kind and respectful to all living things, no matter how small or weak they may seem. It reminds us that hard work and determination can help us achieve our goals. It also teaches us to be grateful for the gifts and abilities that Allah has given us. Most importantly, it reminds us to be good leaders, just like Prophet Sulaiman, who cared not only for his own people, but also for the animals around him. If you liked this story, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our amazing stories.